Keith Urban's appearance at the 2025 CMA Awards wasn't just a performance, it was a statement. The moment he walked on stage alongside host Lainey Wilson to perform Where the Blacktop Ends, cameras captured stunned audience faces. It was a surprise. No one expected him to appear so early in the broadcast. Fans at home instantly took to social media, buzzing with reactions that ranged from excitement to confusion. What made this performance truly magnetic wasn't just the unannounced entry. It was the timing. Just months before, Nicole Kidman had filed for divorce after 19 years of marriage. The public was still digesting the news, and here was Keith, in the spotlight, singing like nothing had changed, but everything had. Each note, each strum of his guitar, seemed layered with meaning. Was this a casual return, or a deliberate reclaiming of his narrative? Social media erupted. Some posts were supportive, applauding his talent and energy. Others were critical, with fans speculating about the divorce. "I need Nicole Kidman to tell us why she left Keith Urban," one user posted, capturing the mix of curiosity and judgment swirling online. Yet amid the chatter, the performance itself remained undeniable. Keith's signature blend of modern country twang and rock energy reminded fans why he's one of the biggest names in the genre. But the shock didn't end there. Just weeks earlier, Keith had taken the stage at Mar-a-Lago, performing Chappell Roan's Pink Pony Club, a song celebrated as a queer anthem. Many argued the song choice clashed with the conservative venue and audience, sparking confusion and controversy. The Mar-a-Lago performance became fodder for conversation, with critics wondering if Keith's public moves were strategic, bold, or just baffling. And now, at the CMAs, the world was watching closely. Every glance, every gesture was dissected online. Was this performance a comeback, a distraction from personal drama, or a message to his fans and critics alike? Fans debated endlessly. The song choice, his timing, his body language, all became part of a story bigger than the music itself. But that wasn't the whole story. As the applause faded and social media comments poured in, the real drama was just beginning. What Keith did next on stage, and how the audience reacted, would fuel conversations for days. And it wasn't just about him. Nicole Kidman's shadow loomed large, creating a tension that made this CMA appearance unforgettable. The story behind Keith Urban's CMA appearance can't be told without looking at the high-profile split that has everyone talking. In September 2025, Nicole Kidman filed for divorce after 19 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. For decades, they were Hollywood's golden couple, admired for their steady relationship and low-key family life. Suddenly, the news sent shockwaves through fans and the media alike. Questions poured in. Why now? What led to the split? And, most importantly, what does this mean for the family's future? While Keith and Nicole largely kept their private life away from the spotlight, rumors began swirling almost immediately. Some sources suggested that the couple had quietly separated months before the filing. Others speculated that career pressures, touring schedules, and personal differences had quietly built tension over time. Fans naturally jumped online to analyze every red carpet appearance, every shared photo, and every public gesture. It was like watching a real-life mystery unfold, one that no one had all the answers to. The timing of Keith's CMA performance added fuel to the fire. Less than 2 months after the divorce filing, he appeared on stage as if nothing had happened, yet the world was watching every move. Was this a calculated attempt to reclaim public attention? Or was it simply Keith doing what he loves, performing music for fans? For some viewers, every smile, every glance at the camera, every lyric sung, became symbolic. Some saw it as a bold statement of resilience, while others interpreted it as a subtle provocation. Even more intriguing were the subtle hints fans tried to read into the performance. Did his body language suggest regret, defiance, or pure focus on the music? Social media exploded with theories, memes, and heated debates. Comments ranged from playful curiosity, "I need Nicole to spill the tea," to harsh criticism, reflecting just how invested audiences were in every detail. Amid all the speculation, the tension between private life and public persona became undeniable. Keith was not only performing for fans in the audience, he was performing for millions online who were dissecting every second. And while the music thrilled some, the backdrop of his personal life ensured that no moment was taken at face value. The CMA stage, in this context, wasn't just a platform for a song, it became a stage for interpretation, curiosity, and speculation. But the intrigue didn't stop with the divorce. Just weeks before, Keith had performed at Mar-a-Lago in a way that left fans baffled and critics whispering. The combination of personal drama and bold public moves set the stage for one of the most talked about appearances of the year. Before Keith Urban stunned audiences at the CMA Awards, he had already made headlines for a performance that left fans and critics talking. Just weeks prior, he appeared at Mar-a-Lago, performing Chaperones' Pink Pony Club, a song celebrated as a queer anthem. On the surface, it was just another live performance, but context made it extraordinary, controversial even. The venue, known for its conservative clientele, seemed worlds apart from the song's bold themes. Many fans and commentators questioned why Keith chose this particular song for this particular audience. The performance immediately sparked debate online. Some argued it was a daring, audacious move, Keith using his music to make a statement in an unexpected place. Others saw it as a mismatch, calling it confusing or even provocative. Headlines described it as baffling and unexpected, and within hours, social media was flooded with reactions ranging from excitement to shock. Memes, tweets, and commentary exploded, and suddenly, the Mar-a-Lago show became inseparable from his public image. This backdrop made Keith's CMA Awards appearance even more fascinating. Audiences weren't just reacting to his musical talent, they were reacting to a man who had navigated personal heartbreak, public scrutiny, and controversial performances, all while keeping his cool on stage. Every strum of his guitar at the CMAs was filtered through this lens. Fans couldn't help but ask, was Keith attempting to reclaim his narrative after the Mar-a-Lago buzz? Or was he signaling that he could do whatever he wanted, wherever he wanted, regardless of public opinion? The intrigue wasn't limited to music critics. Casual fans joined the conversation too. Social media threads lit up with speculation, judgment, and admiration. Some posts were playful, others biting. "But Keith Urban!" one user tweeted, while another wrote, "Keith Urban, ugh!" Meanwhile, a segment of the audience defended him fiercely, praising his energy, talent, and ability to blend modern country with classic twang. The contrast in reactions only heightened the suspense, leaving everyone wondering what Keith would do next. And while some people focused purely on his bold moves, others tied the performance to his personal life. The recent divorce from Nicole Kidman loomed over everything. Fans speculated if these public gestures were attempts to distract, to assert independence, or to simply embrace freedom after a long marriage. Every step on stage, every song choice, became fodder for discussion, creating a mix of admiration, confusion, and suspense that followed him straight into the CMAs. But the story doesn't end here. The online reaction to the CMA performance itself would soon take the drama to another level, with fans divided, opinions heated, and curiosity at an all-time high. As soon as Keith Urban's CMA performance aired, social media ignited. The mix of anticipation, surprise, and controversy made it a perfect storm for online discussion. Fans couldn't stop talking, not just about the music, but about the context surrounding it. After all, this was Keith's first major award show appearance since his divorce from Nicole Kidman, and public curiosity was at a fever pitch. Every movement, every glance, Every lyric he sang was dissected by millions of eyes. Some fans were quick to criticize. Tweets poured in like wildfire. "But Keith Urban," one user wrote, while another commented, "Keith Urban, ugh." A particularly curious fan asked, "I need Nicole Kidman to tell us why she left Keith Urban." The mix of judgment, speculation, and humor created a swirling atmosphere that online audiences couldn't ignore. For many, the performance wasn't just a musical moment, it was a puzzle, a narrative layered with personal drama, controversy, and public intrigue. But the reactions weren't all negative. Other viewers celebrated Keith's return, praising his musical talent and stage presence. "Keith Urban is one of my favorite modern country artists. Rocks a little and keeps the twang," wrote a devoted fan. Comments like these reminded audiences that despite the drama, the man on stage was still a world-class performer. His skill with the guitar, his signature vocal style, and his ability to command attention created a magnetic tension that kept viewers watching. The variety of reactions highlighted something crucial. Keith's public moves had become a performance in more ways than one. It wasn't just about music, it was about narrative, image, and timing. Every fan had a theory. Some thought he was sending a message of resilience and independence. Others speculated that the performance was a deliberate distraction from his personal life. And a few wondered if it was all a carefully orchestrated strategy to remain in the spotlight. After the Mar-a-Lago controversy, as discussions swirled online, the suspense grew. Audiences were left asking, what does Keith really want to say with these performances? Is he signaling a new chapter in his life? Or is he simply focused on music while fans try to read too much into it? The mixture of curiosity, admiration, and controversy kept people glued to screens, refreshing social feeds, and debating every detail. But the story isn't finished. Behind the fan reactions and social media debates, there's another layer, one that ties back to the timing, strategy, and personal stakes surrounding Keith Urban's CMA return. And that's exactly where we dive next. While social media was ablaze with criticism and speculation, a large portion of fans were completely captivated by Keith Urban's CMA performance. For them, this wasn't about divorce drama, Mar-a-Lago controversy, or public speculation. It was about pure music. Keith's energy, skill, and stage presence reminded fans why he's one of country music's most respected and enduring artists. Comments praised his ability to blend modern country with his signature twang. "Keith Urban rocks a little and keeps the twang. Absolutely love this performance," one fan wrote, capturing the sentiment of those who focused purely on his musical talent. Another user noted how confident and relaxed he appeared on stage, seeming unaffected by the swirling drama surrounding his personal life. For these viewers, the performance was proof that Keith can command attention on stage, independent of headlines or gossip. Yet even admiration carried an undercurrent of curiosity. Fans weren't just enjoying the performance, they were analyzing it. Was there a hidden message behind the song choice? Did his glances at the camera or gestures toward the audience suggest something more personal? Some speculated that Keith might be signaling independence, resilience, or a new chapter post-divorce. Others simply admired his professionalism. No matter the drama swirling around his personal life, he could still deliver a flawless live performance under intense scrutiny. What makes this portion of the fanbase interesting is how it contrasts sharply with the critics. On one side, people dissected every move as a reflection of personal turmoil. On the other, fans celebrated his artistry and ability to rise above the noise. This duality created a tense, suspenseful atmosphere. Everyone had an opinion, and every reaction seemed to fuel further debate. Keith's CMA return also highlighted the delicate balance between public image and private life. Fans were left to wonder, is he reclaiming his narrative through music? Is this just a performance? Or does it represent a deeper message about his resilience after his split from Nicole Kidman? Every strum, Every note and every stage gesture became part of a larger conversation. The suspense wasn't in whether he could perform. It was in what his performance meant in the larger context of fame, divorce, and public perception. As the applause faded and social media buzzed, one thing was clear. Keith Urban's CMA performance had achieved something rare. It entertained, provoked thought, and left fans on edge, eager for the next public move. And speaking of the next move, there's an even more intriguing layer. The timing and strategy behind all of this, which some believe is no coincidence. Keith Urban's CMA Awards appearance wasn't just a random performance. It felt deliberate, carefully timed, and loaded with unspoken meaning. Less than 2 months had passed since Nicole Kidman filed for divorce, and just weeks earlier, he had caused a stir with the Mar-a-Lago performance. For fans and critics alike, the CMA stage wasn't merely a platform for music. It was a stage for narrative, perception, and public positioning. The timing raised eyebrows. Why appear now? Why take the spotlight in such a high-profile, unannounced way? Some observers suggested this was a strategic move, a calculated return to the public eye designed to reclaim attention and shape the conversation. After all, in the age of social media, every appearance is amplified, dissected, and shared millions of times. By performing at the start of the broadcast, Keith ensured he would dominate the narrative from the very first note. Fans speculated endlessly. Some theorized that the performance was a show of resilience, a message that Keith could move forward professionally despite personal upheaval. Others viewed it as a subtle way to redirect attention away from divorce headlines and toward his artistry. Even critics admitted that, despite the controversy, the performance was polished, confident, and undeniably effective. Every detail, from his posture to his interaction with Lainey Wilson, seemed purposeful, leaving audiences wondering if nothing about this CMA moment was coincidental. The blend of drama and talent created an edge-of-your-seat tension. Audiences weren't just watching a musician, they were witnessing a story unfold in real time, one layered with speculation and curiosity. Questions lingered. Was Keith using this stage to signal independence? Was he reclaiming control over how the public perceived him? Or was it simply a man doing what he loves, while the world interpreted it through the lens of gossip and personal intrigue? Adding to the suspense, insiders hinted that this might not be the end of Keith's carefully timed public appearances. Fans began scanning upcoming events, interviews, and performances for signs of a bigger plan. Each move seemed to feed a larger narrative, a blend of artistry, personal resilience, and media strategy, all wrapped in an aura of mystery. But the timing wasn't the only thing fueling conversation. The reactions, the duality of fan admiration and criticism, and the underlying personal drama made this moment far more than just a performance. It became a cultural talking point, a story that demanded attention, and a suspenseful chapter in Keith Urban's public life. Even after the applause faded, Keith Urban's CMA performance continued to dominate conversation online. Fans weren't just reacting to his music, they were trying to read between the lines, piecing together clues about his personal life and what might come next. Social media was filled with speculation, from possible reconciliations with Nicole Kidman to bold guesses about upcoming performances or public statements. Every detail became fodder for debate, keeping audiences glued to screens and comment sections. Reports suggested that Nicole herself had been quietly focusing on their daughters while observing Keith's public moves. Fans speculated whether the CMA performance was a subtle message to her, a signal to the public, or simply a professional step forward. Some believed Keith was reclaiming his narrative, showing that while his personal life had changed, his artistry and stage presence remained untouchable. Others weren't so sure, questioning whether these appearances were calculated or merely coincidental. The suspense didn't end there. Rumors circulated about holiday plans and potential co-parenting appearances, with fans imagining scenarios where Keith and Nicole might share public spaces during festive events. While none of these reports have been confirmed, the sheer volume of speculation kept the story alive, feeding curiosity and online discussion. Every interview, every award show, and every public outing is now viewed through this lens, and audiences are eager to see what comes next. What's fascinating is how Keith has managed to turn a deeply personal event, a divorce, into a broader narrative about resilience, artistry, and public perception. Fans are debating endlessly, some defending him, others criticizing, but nearly everyone is watching. The drama, controversy, and uncertainty create a unique tension that makes his public appearances feel like episodes in a continuing story. And yet, the future remains uncertain. Will Keith continue making bold moves that defy expectations? Will Nicole make a statement that shifts the public's perception? Or will both choose to stay focused on private life while fans and media speculate endlessly? The suspense is palpable, and the audience is left hanging, waiting for the next headline, performance, or revelation. One thing is certain: Keith Urban's CMA moment wasn't just another performance, it was a spark that reignited a conversation about fame, relationships, and the delicate balance between personal life and public image. Fans are hooked, opinions are divided, and every move he makes now carries a layer of suspense that keeps everyone guessing. Keith Urban's CMA Awards appearance wasn't just another performance, it was a moment layered with drama, speculation, and curiosity that captured the attention of fans around the world. From the surprise stage entrance to the choice of song, from the Mar-a-Lago controversy to his fresh post-divorce image, every detail has been dissected, debated, and analyzed. The performance wasn't just about music, it was a carefully observed story unfolding in real time, blending artistry with personal narrative in a way that few celebrity moments ever do. Fans remain divided. Some see a man reclaiming his narrative, proving that even in the face of heartbreak and scrutiny, he can stand strong on stage and command attention. Others interpret his actions as bold or provocative, wondering if each public move carries hidden messages aimed at Nicole Kidman, the media, or even himself. Social media continues to buzz with questions, memes, and endless speculation, keeping the story alive long after the last note of "Where the Blacktop Ends" faded from the stage. What makes this saga so compelling is its unpredictability. Every time Keith appears in public, fans and critics alike brace themselves for the unexpected. Will the next performance be a heartfelt musical statement, a subtle nod to past relationships, or another surprise that shocks audiences worldwide? The uncertainty itself fuels engagement, creating a suspenseful narrative that feels ongoing, like a live drama playing out before millions of viewers. And yet, behind all the speculation and drama, there's one undeniable truth: Keith Urban remains a world-class performer. The music, the stage presence, and the sheer charisma draw viewers in, regardless of personal headlines or public speculation. His ability to balance personal turbulence with professional excellence is part of what keeps audiences captivated, and why every appearance, every performance, and every social media reaction becomes part of a larger story. As fans wait for the next chapter, the questions linger. What will Keith do next? How will Nicole respond, if at all? And most intriguingly, what secrets, messages, or surprises remain hidden behind the spotlight? One thing is certain: the story of Keith Urban's CMA moment and the drama surrounding it isn't finished. For fans, followers, and curious observers, the suspense continues, and everyone is watching. So what do you think? Was Keith's CMA appearance a bold move, a calculated strategy, or just a musician doing what he loves? The story isn't over, and the world is waiting for the next twist.